name is Peter and welcome to my channel. Today we'll work on this beautiful 35-inch long doily, and across it's 7.5 inch, and for this project I will use crochet thread number 10 and crochet hook 1.5 millimeters. So if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, and enough words, so let's start with this beautiful project. We will start with a slip knot. Now we will chain 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Slip stitch into the first chain to form a ring. Okay. Start round 1, we will chain 3 for the first double crochet, and into the ring we will work 17 double crochets. So with this chain 3 we will have total of 18 double crochets in a ring. So that's, if we count, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 17 and 18. You will slip stitch into the third chain. Like that. Round 2 we will work between the double crochets. So we will slip stitch into the space between double crochets. And now we will chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this counts as a first double crochet plus chain 1 space. We will work a double crochet between the next two double crochets. So here's double crochet and the next one, and we will work a double crochet between these two double crochets. Then we will chain 1 double crochet between the next two double crochets, chain 1 double crochet between the next two, chain 1, and continue this way. Chain 1, finish this round with a double crochet between the last two, so double crochet in this chain 3, and then we'll chain 1 and slip stitch into the third chain. So in this round 2 we have 18 chain 1 spaces and 18 double crochets. Round 3, slip stitch into the next chain 1 space, and we will chain 5, and this counts as a first double crochet and chain 2 space. Into the next chain 1 space we will work a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet into the next space, chain 2, double crochet into the next space, chain 2, and we will repeat this around. So at the end of this round 3 we will have 18 double crochets and 18 chain 2 spaces. Round 4 we'll slip stitch into the next chain 2 space, we will chain 3 for the first double crochet, and into the same space we'll work 1 double crochet. Chain 2, to the next chain 2 space, 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. Chain 2, 2 double crochets into the next space, chain 2, to the next space, 2 double crochets, 1, 2, chain 2, and repeat this pattern around. Finish this round with a chain 2 and slip stitch into the third chain. Round 5, slip stitch into next double crochet and into chain 2 space. Chain 3 for the first double crochet, and into the same chain 2 space we will work 2 more double crochets. So in total we will have 3. Chain 2, into the next chain 2 space, 3 double crochets, 2 and 3. Chain 2, 3 double crochets in the next space, 1, 2, 3. Chain 2, 3 double crochets in next space, 1, 2, 3. Chain 2, and repeat this pattern around. So in each chain 2 space we will work 3 double crochets and then chain 2 between these groups. Finish this round with a chain 2 and slip stitch into the third chain. Round 6, slip stitch the next 2 double crochets and into the chain 2 space. Chain 3 for the first double crochet and into the same space 2 double crochets, 1, 2. Chain 3, to the next chain 2 space, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3. Chain 3, 3 double crochets in next space, 2, 3. Chain 3, again in next space 3 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets. So repeat this round and finish this round with a chain 3 and slip stitch into the third chain. Round 7, slip stitch to next 2 double crochets and into the chain 3 space. We will chain 3 for the first double crochet, and into the same space we will work 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. Then we'll chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and 3 double crochets into the same space, 2, 3. Chain 1, into the next chain 3 space we will work a shell. So shell is 3 double crochets, chain 3, and 3 double crochets into the same space, 1, 2, 3. So a shell is 3 double crochets, chain 3 and 3 double crochets all in the same space. Chain 1, and into the next chain 3 space we'll work a double crochet, chain 3 and 1 more double crochet into the same space, chain 1. In next two chain 3 spaces we'll work a shell and chain 1 between. So shell in the first chain 3 space, chain 1, oops, chain 1, and shell in the next chain 3 space. Chain 1. In the next space, again 1 double crochet, chain 3, and 1 double crochet to the same space, chain 1. And we'll repeat this pattern around. So now we'll work in next two chain 3 spaces, we'll work a shell just like we did here, and chain 1 between these shells. So we'll work a shell, chain 1, a shell in the next, chain 1, and into the next chain 3 space we'll work a double crochet, chain 3, and 1 double crochet, then chain 1, and again a shell, chain 1, shell, chain 1, then double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, chain 1, a shell, shell, and so on. Finish this round with a chain 1 and slip stitch into the third chain. So this is how much we have done till now, and now we will start with a round 8, 7, 8, yes, slip stitch next to double crochets and into the chain 3 space. We will work on our beginning shell with a chain 3 for the first double crochet, to the same space 2 double crochets, chain 3, and 3 double crochets into the same space. So we created our beginning shell. Now we will chain 2, shell in the next shell, chain 2, here we have our V with a double crochet, chain 3, and double crochet, and into the chain 3 space we'll work double crochet, chain 3, and 1 more double crochet into the same space. Okay. And we will chain 2, and we will repeat this pattern around. So we will work a shell in the next shell, then we will chain 2, shell in the next shell, chain 2, to this V into the chain 3 space we'll work double crochet, chain 3, and 1 more double crochet, and then chain 2, and again shell in the next shell. So repeat this pattern around. So in each shell we will work a shell, and in each V-stitch we'll work a V-stitch. So double crochet, chain 3, double crochet into the same chain 3 space, and we'll have chain 2 between. In this round we have chain 1, now we'll have chain 2. and chain 2. So we will repeat this and finish this round with this last V-stitch. So double crochet, chain 3, double crochet in this space, then we'll chain 2 and slip stitch into the third chain. Round 9, slip stitch into the next 2 double crochets and into the chain 3 space. Now we'll work on our beginning shell with the chain 3, 2 double crochets, chain 3 and 3 double crochets into the same space. Now we will chain 3. So in round 7 we chained 1, now in round 8 3, and now we will chain 2, and now we will chain 3 and shell in the next shell. So a shell is 3 double crochets, then chain 3 and 3 double crochets into the same space. Chain 3, a V-stitch in the next V-stitch. Oh, a V-stitch, double crochet, chain 3 and double crochet, all in the same chain 3 space. And we'll chain 3, and again we will work a shell in the next shell, then chain 3, shell in the next shell, chain 3, V-stitch in the next V-stitch, chain 3, shell in a shell, and so on. So repeat this pattern around, and we will finish this round with a V-stitch in last V-stitch, chain 3 and slip stitch into the third chain. Round number 10, slip stitch into the next 2 double crochets and into the chain 3 space. We will work on our beginning shell, now we will chain 4, shell in the next shell. Chain 4, and next this V-stitch we will work a V-stitch. So double crochet, chain 3 and 1 more double crochet into the same space. Now we will chain 4, 3 and 4, and again we will work a shell in the next shell. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and we will repeat this pattern around. So you work a shell in the next shell, then you will chain 4, V-stitch in a V-stitch with a double crochet, chain 3 and double crochet, chain 4, shell in the next shell, chain 4, shell in the next shell, and so on. And we will finish this round with a V-stitch in last this V-stitch, then we will chain 4 and slip stitch into the third chain. Round 11, and this is the last round of our center piece. We will slip stitch into the next 2 double crochets and into the chain 3 space. And now we will work on our beginning shell with a chain 3, 2 double crochets, chain 3, and 3 double crochets into the same space. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Shell in the next shell. So 3 double crochets, chain 3, and 3 double crochets into the same space. Now we will chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Into the next V-stitch we'll work a double crochet, and now we will chain 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And into the same space, 1 double crochet. Chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This chain 12 will be for our base for the pineapple. Shell in the next shell. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, shell in the next shell, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we have here our next V-stitch, and in this V-stitch we will work double crochet, chain 3, double crochet into the same space, chain 3, double crochet into the same space, chain 3, and 1 more double crochet into the same chain 3 space. So in this chain 3 space of our V-stitch we work 1, 2, 3, 4 double crochets and chain 3 between. Now we'll chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Into the next shell we will work again 4 double crochets with chain 3 between. So first double crochet, chain 3, this is the second, chain 3, third double crochet, chain 3, and fourth double crochet. Like that. Now we will chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Single crochet into the chain space between the two shells of the previous round. Chain 3 into the next shell, 4 double crochets with a chain 3 between. It's 1, 2, chain 3, then 3, chain 3, 2, 3, and double crochet number 4. And we'll chain 3, 1, 2, 3 into the next V stitch, 4 double crochets with chain 3 between. It's 1, 2, our third double crochet, chain 3, and fourth. Now we will chain 4, 3 and 4. We'll work a shell in the next shell. Chain 4, 2, 3 and 4, shell in the next shell, chain 4, 3 and 4, and again in the next V stitch we'll work a double crochet, chain 12, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and double crochet into the same chain 3 space. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now shell in the next shell, chain 4, shell in the next shell, chain 4, and in this next V stitch we'll work 4 double crochets with a chain 3 between. So that's 1 chain 3, the second double crochet, chain 3, third double crochet, chain 3, and fourth double crochet. Now we'll chain 3 in the next shell, 4 double crochets with chain 3 between. Chain 3 in a chain 4 space between the shells of the previous round. We'll work a single crochet. Chain 3 in the next shell, 4 double crochets with a chain 3 between. Chain 3, and in our last V stitch again 4 double crochets and chain 3 between them. Now we'll chain 4 and we will slip stitch into the third chain. And we have finished our round 11, and from now on we'll work in rows. So we have our chain for the first base, and on the other side we have our chain 12 for the second base of our pineapples. Okay. And now we will start with a row number 1, slip stitch into the next 2 double crochets and enter the chain 3 space. We'll work on our beginning shell with a chain 3, 2 double crochets, chain 3 and 3 double crochets into the same space. Now we will chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. A shell in the next shell, chain 4 into the chain 12 space. We will work 20 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Shell in the next shell, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, shell in the next shell, and this is the end of the row 1. And what we'll do now is exactly how we will start each next row. We will chain 1 and we will turn our work around. Now we will slip stitch in each of the next 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, and into the chain 3 space. And we will work on our beginning shell with a chain 3, 2 double crochets, then chain 3 and 3 double crochets into the same space, and this is how we will start each row. So we have our beginning shell, and now we will chain 4, we will work a shell in the next shell. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we have our 20 double crochets, and we will work 1 double crochet in each one of them. So at the end of this row we will have again 20 double crochets in this base of our pineapple. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 19, and the last one 20. So again we have 20 double crochets in our base of pineapple. Now we'll chain 4 and we will work a shell in a shell, chain 4, shell in the next shell, okay. Now we are at the end of our row 2. We will chain 1 and turn our work around. So to start row 3 we will slip stitch in each of the next 2 double crochets, so into the first and then second, into the chain 3 space, and now we'll start with our beginning shell. Okay, let's chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, shell in the next shell, chain 4, 2, 3, 4, and again we'll work 1 double crochet in each of the next 20 double crochets. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 17, 18, 19, and the last one 20. So again we have 20 double crochets. Chain 4, shell in the next shell, chain 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, shell in our last shell. Chain 1 and you turn our work around. So to start the next row, slip stitch in each of the next 2 double crochets and slip stitch into the chain 3 space. Now we'll work on our beginning shell, chain 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, shell in a next shell, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. In this row we will work in a space between double crochets. So here's our first double crochet and then the second, and we will work a double crochet between these 2 double crochets. Chain 1, again double crochet between the next 2 double crochets. Chain 1, double crochet between the next 2, chain 1, double crochet between the next 2 double crochets. So continue across, and when you come to the other side we will have 19 double crochets. That's 18 and our last double crochet, 19. So we have 19 double crochets and 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 chain 1 spaces. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and again we will work a shell in the next shell, chain 4 and shell in our last shell. Okay. And we are ready to start our next row. So we'll chain 1 and turn our work around. Again we will slip stitch into the next 2 double crochets and into the chain 3 space. We will work on our beginning shell, chain 4, shell in an eggshell, chain 4, and we'll single crochet into the first chain 1 space. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Single crochet into the next space. Chain 4. Single crochet into the next space. Chain 4. Single crochet into the next space, and continue across this pineapple this way. So you chain 4 and single crochet into the next space. Single crochet in each space, in each chain 1 space, and chain 4 between. Single crochet, chain 4, and single crochet in last chain 1 space. So now what I recommend you to do is count these chain 4 loops or spaces, and you should have 17 of them. So we have 17 chain 4 loops. Chain 4, 3 and 4, shell in the next shell, chain 4, shell in our last shell. Again, chain 1 and turn our work around. We'll start with our next row, slip stitch in next 2 double crochets, and into the chain 3 space. We'll work on our beginning shell, now chain 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, shell in the next shell, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We will work across our pineapple with a single crochet in each chain 4 loop and chain 4 between. So we will single crochet into the first loop, then we will chain 4, 2, 3, 4, single crochet into the next loop, chain 4, 2, 3, 4, single crochet into the next loop, and continue this way across. And single crochet in our last loop, chain 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. So in previous round we have 17 chain 4 loops, and now if we count we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and our last loop 16 loops. So in each row we have 1 chain 4 loop less in our pineapple, and I hope you are getting the idea how to work with these pineapples. Okay, so now we will work a shell in the next shell. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and shell in our last shell. Okay. And again we will chain 1 and turn our work around. Start with the next row, slip stitch into the next 2 double crochets and into the chain 3 space. Work on our beginning shell, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Shell in the next shell, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again we'll work into the chain 4 loops of our pineapple with a single crochet and chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Single crochet into the next loop, chain 4, single crochet into the next loop. Continue this way across our pineapple. Chain 4 and single crochet in last chain 4 loop of our pineapple. Now we will chain 4 and work a shell in the next shell. Chain 4, shell in our last shell. Okay, and now what we will do is again chain 1, turn our work. So if we do this, chain 1 and then we turn our work around again and start our next row. In this row we have 17 loops, then 16, now 15. In this next row we will have 14 loops, then when we come back will be 13, 12, 11, 10 and so on. So continue this way as I have shown you till now. When you will have only one loop remaining in the pineapple, and then we'll continue with this beautiful project. Okay, so and here we have our last loop remaining in our pineapple. Again we'll slip stitch into the next 2 double crochets and into the chain 3 space. We'll work on our beginning shell, chain 4, shell in the next shell, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, single crochet in last chain 4 loop, chain 4, shell in the next shell, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and shell in our last shell, chain 1, and we can turn our work around. We'll start our next row with slip stitching next to double crochets and into the chain 3 space. We'll work on our beginning shell, chain 4, shell in the next shell, now we will skip this chain 4, single crochet and chain 4, and we'll go and work a shell in the next shell. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and work a shell in our last shell. Okay. Chain 1, and we can turn our work around. We will start our next row with a slip stitch into the next 2 double crochets and into the chain 3 space. We will work on our beginning shell, now we will chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We will work a single crochet into the next shell. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet into the next shell. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and shell in our last shell. like that. You can chain 1 and turn our work. We'll start our next row with a slip stitch into the next 2 double crochets and into the chain 3 space. Work on our beginning shell, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll work a double crochet in this chain 5 and into the third chain of chain 5 space. So 1, 2, 3. Into the third chain we'll work double crochet, chain 20, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20. And double crochet into the same chain. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And a shell in our last shell. Like that. Chain 1 and we can turn our work around. And now we will start with our next row as we usually do, with a slip stitch into the next 2 double crochets and into the chain 3 space. Chain 3 and we will work on our beginning shell, okay. Now we'll chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 and into this chain 20 space we will work 12 double crochets. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and the last one 12. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 and shell in our last shell. Chain 1 and turn your work around. Let's start our next row with a slip stitch into the next 2 double crochets. It's 1 and 2, and into the chain 3 space. Work on our beginning shell, and now chain 3, 1, 2, 3. We'll work 1 double crochet in each of the previous double crochet. So again we'll have 12 double crochets. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and the last one 12. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Shell in our last shell. Chain 1 and turn our work around. We'll start our next row. Our beginning shell. Chain 3, 2 and 3, and again we'll work 1 double crochet in each of the next 12 double crochets, so we will have total of 12 double crochets. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and the last one 12. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and shell in next shell. Chain 1, and we can turn our work around. Start our next row. Work on our beginning shell. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And now we'll work between the double crochets. So between first and second we'll work a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet between the next 2 double crochets, chain 1, again double crochet, chain 1, double crochet between the next 2, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and at the end of this row we will have 11 double crochets and 10 chain 1 spaces. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 chain 1 spaces. Chain 3 and work a shell in a shell. Chain 1, and we can turn our work around. We'll start our next row. Our beginning shell. Chain 3, and we will single crochet into the first chain 1 space. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, single crochet into the next space. Chain 4, single crochet into the next space. Chain 4, single crochet into the next space. Continue this way across our pineapple, and in this row we will have 9 chain 4 loops in our pineapple. Our last loop, 1, 2, 3, 4, single crochet into the last chain 1 space, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 chain 4 loops in our pineapple. Chain 3 and shell in the next shell. Chain 1, and we can turn our work around. We will start our next row. And our beginning shell. Chain 3, single crochet into the first chain 4 loop, and chain 4, 2, 3, 4, and single crochet into the next loop. Continue this way across this pineapple, and in this row we will have 8 loops in our pineapple. Single crochet into the last loop, chain 3, and shell in a shell. chain 1, and we can turn our work. So continue this way, working on this pineapple, and as before, in each round, row, you'll have one chain 4 loop less in our pineapple. So continue this way, and I will meet you when you have only one loop remaining in your pineapple, and then we'll finish this part. So I have only one loop remaining in this our second pineapple, and we can start our next row. Our beginning shell, chain 3, single crochet into the last loop of our pineapple, chain 3, and shell in the next shell. Chain 1, and we can turn our work around. We'll start our next row with a slip stitch into next 2 double crochets and into the chain 3 space. We'll work on our beginning shell, now we will skip this chain 3, single crochet and chain 3, and we will work a shell in the next shell. Chain 1, and we can turn our work. We'll start the next row, slip stitch into the next 2 double crochets and into the chain 3 space. Now we will chain 3 into the same space. We will work 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, then we will chain 1, and into the next shell we will work 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3. Chain 1, we will turn our work around, slip stitch into the next 2 double crochets and into the chain 1 space. We will chain 3, and into the same chain 1 space we will work double crochet 2 together. So the first part we have 2 loops, and the second part now we have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 of them. Chain 1, and we can cut our thread and fasten off. So we are done with this first part. Here is our centerpiece, then our big pineapple, and here is our small pineapple. So now all you need to do is repeat all this on the other side of this table runner here. I will show you how to start. And first what we need is you make sure that the right side is facing towards you. And here is our chain space and our 1, 2 shells, and we will attach this on this shell over here. So into this shell we will attach our thread, we will make a slip stitch, then into the same space we will work a single crochet, chain 2, and we'll work on our shell. So single crochet and chain 2 counts as our first double crochet, this is the second, and the third double crochet, chain 3, and into the same space 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 4, 2, 3 and 4, shell in the next shell. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and again to this chain 12 space we'll work 20 double crochets, just as we did over here. Well, this is basically the row 1 here on this side. Okay. So now all you need to do is repeat from row 1 on. We have our beginning shell, chain 4 and a shell, chain 4, and into this chain 12 space we'll work 20 double crochets, just as we did here on this side, where it's our first beginning shell, then chain 4, shell, chain 4, 20 double crochets, and then we'll work a shell, shell, and then again turn our work. So look into the description below, I will put a timeline here for this first row, and then you just repeat what we have done and you are done with this project. So hope you enjoy it, and I hope that you'll watch my next videos, and if you like this video please subscribe to my channel, and yeah, until the next time, enjoy your crocheting and be safe.